about 2 weeks to our next race. We had to get going. Time was just not on our side. We'd considered skipping the next race, which was only 5 weeks away from the crash, but racing is addicting, so we could. Plus, we got to keep these guys busy building something. If we keep them busy, they'll go back to polishing their supersonic grills. The new front end was torn down and ready to go on. Luckily, there was a powder coater near our work who has a large enough blast oven to drop in there and strip off all the paint. Really let us see if there's anything hiding underneath there besides the rust we already knew existed. Early the next morning, next work morning anyway, getting that front end off of the race car so that we can get the new one on. Really, it's just repeating what we did with the test front end, drilling out those spot welds, cutting through a little bit of sheet metal, cutting through the cage extensions that come to the front of our car and getting it prepped and ready to come off. A little aid from the Sawzall. It's ready to go. On over to the other side to just repeat what we just did. Hopefully the last time we'll be cutting the metal off of this front end and everything else will be back on. It'll be easy, Jeff said. Where's Jeff? Will indeed, Jeffrey, will indeed.
This one feels heavier. I think it's got less wrap.
As I laboriously stripped down the front of the race car, Jeff continued to bang on the new front end. Finally, time to make that holy union.
Yeah.
Once again, Jeff was right. Using those OEM weld spots really made alignment not so difficult.
I want to go like this.
Although it still took us a little while to get right where we wanted to. A little bit of prying, a little bit of grinding. Eventually got it there. As long as it drives straight, it's all we need. Everything tacked in place. Nothing left to do but fully weld it on. While Jeff and I were futzing with the front, Carter decided to tackle the rear. See what we couldn't do about straightening that out a little bit. With some neat tricks and some big hammers, things are starting to look pretty good. Just go. Come on. Little nip, a little bit of tap here, a little cutting, a little welding. Slowly started to look like a 510 again. I tried to lobby the guys to go for the hatchback 510. We'll just cut off that rear end and lose all that extra weight, be flying down the straights. They gazed at me with that purist look. Guess not. Maybe they just wanted to make sure they still had a little bit of crumple zone left to work with. Pretty straight. As straight as it gets around here. More and more and more welding. Finally, we'd had about enough. We called it good. Started prepping for paint. So while things not going to be a show car again, we can at least cover up all this bare metal. Stop it from rusting out.
Making burritos for dinner?
Sounds delicious.
A little epoxy primer on all the new metal and all the body parts we plan on bolting back on once we're done. Get us back to a single tone anyway.
Yeah, it's got like 50 layers of primer on it. And then styrofoam behind that. Look more professional. What?
It's got the weld right there.
No, those are all there.
You're the welder guy and there's no weld there.
Oh.
You want to fix that real quick?
It wasn't that important, but I probably should, huh?
Well, all the way down here and then anything down here either.
What about the outside? Not much over there either. Like it was never wrecked.
With the bodywork straight, that was some of the work done. There's still a whole lot of car that needed to go back together. So spent some time out in the beautiful Seattle weather, making sure our engine was good to go. Found a couple bent parts, but nothing we couldn't replace. But something that needed to be taken care of before dropping it into the car, or rather, dropping the car onto it. Whichever works.
Definitely should, but this is a time lapse.
We're just giving the race car a heart right now, guys.
We only budgeted time for the white primer. No more pink engine bay for us. We'll have to find some results in the car to get some pink. After many hours of just bolting the thing back together like we have over and over, we realized the only thing stopping us from driving was one missing shoulder bolt. Not just a regular bolt, but some special shoulder bolt that we cannot find. After a few hours of looking around, we decided we had to dig a little deeper.
What's down in there?
Various bolts, various flavors.
We're building a race car, saving money where we can. That one looks good. That was not in a bolt.
I mean, not in a bolt. I mean, I've got lots of goodies in here. There's plenty of life left on that wheel right there. Somebody's getting a little carried away.
Oh, that's my bolt.
A little rich.
You're definitely fighting aliens in here.
Yes, but I'm winning. Who put the glass in here? That's a funny trick. Why'd you make him dig through the trash can?
If he bleeds, it just means you're working harder.